Welcome to another exciting episode of the Andre the Beast Crazy Show. Another exciting show, another exciting guest. Here to talk about the new event that's coming to Indianapolis for the first time. Model Icon Inc., a Sherry Gearhart production. And we have no other than Tina and Michelle on the show. And you guys are from where?
Mahogany Charm Boutique.
Damn. What's your, let's start here. Let's start here. Look at that smile. You was prepared for this, wasn't you?
Not at all.
Are you nervous?
Very nervous.
Would you like a gummy? Let's start here. Tell me a little bit about who you are.
Okay, so Mahogany Charm Boutique.
Bring that mic up. We got to hear your beautiful voice.
Okay. Can you hear me?
I can hear you good.
Okay. So Mahogany Charm Boutique was started in 2006. We started at our kitchen table making jewelry. And then when COVID hit, we started making masks, custom masks. That was really good business. So that's when we actually started looking at it like a business.
Right.
So fast forward to 2023, we got our brick and mortar.
Okay.
So, and that's off of 56 and Keystone.
That brick and mortar costs. You know that, right?
It does.
Whose idea was it to go to brick and mortar? Was that yours?
It was not.
I'm going to get to you in a minute.
Frugal.
I'm going to get to you in a minute. So you guys go brick and mortar from house to brick and mortar right out of COVID?
Well, so in between there, we were online.
Okay.
So we did have an online presence, doing selling platforms like Poshmark and eBay, and we had a storage unit. We were out of the storage unit, working out of the storage unit. It was set up like a little boutique and everything, but it was inside of storage unit, and it was kind of restrictive. Right. Because we had to go by their hours. There wasn't any lighting in there at all.
How were you able to do that in a storage place? Don't tell me, because then somebody else is going to go and do it.
Exactly.
We got motherfuckers living in the storage bins, getting their food. It worked for you is what it was. Okay.
Right.
Okay, so you got the office hours, but let's go here for a minute. My hats off to you guys, because coming out of COVID, nobody really knew what they were going to do. What was your impact on this decision?
So I am more of the business mindset, not real her in.
You're much of the what?
The business.
Could you say that
side of it?
Business side
the
of
business side of it,
Okay.
and I reel her in. So
Okay.
when she has all the grandiose ideas, I'm like, let's sit down, let's see if it's gonna work. Put pen to paper.
Did you guys argue a lot when y'all were growing up? She was telling you what to do all the time.
No, we didn't argue a lot. We argue a lot now.
Oh, business would do that. You know what I mean? That's what they say. Don't mess with family and business.
Yes.
But go ahead. So you're the business aspect of it.
Yes. So we just happened to find the location. Actually, we were in a different location. Little small place. We were like, let's make it work. Kind of like we were still in our closet, but people could come visit us.
But what was your obstacles? Because you coming out of COVID. I'm gonna use myself for example. I'm not gonna show my age, but back in the day, when I was personal training, I the first thing I did was I didn't have brick and mortar, but I knew my services were needed in facilities, so I contracted with, at the time, Bally's and a lot of the local gyms. I cut out a lot of overhead. All I had to do was make sure they got their money on their memberships and blah, blah, blah. But you're coming out of COVID, elevating your product. How did you know you guys were going to be able to take that next leap?
It was really a lot on faith. Stepped out. We knew we had the merchandise. We knew that we had a passion for vintage, because that's how we started out, with a lot of vintage clothing, and we had a following from our mask. So we were like, let's capitalize on it.
How do you go from taking a chance from mask to the clothing?
Yeah, so we did a lot of thrifting when it first started. So like we
What
said,
does that mean?
that means going to different places.
Okay.
And curating really good items. So.
What's your background?
It's management
Okay.
and marketing.
Okay, I knew it was something. Now let's get down to business because I think people need to understand that you said something that was impactful, and I'm gonna address this because I'm pretty bold with what I say, but I think our people need to know this. We see a lot of the other cultures have successful businesses. I won't mention the names of the different cultures, but why do you think we as people of color have a hard time backing each other? Because and the fact that your family, a lot of people be like, blah blah blah. What's the secret?
I don't know. I actually think it starts with family because in a lot of other cultures, you see them coming together
Yeah.
more so than we do.
Right.
And I think that just starts from there, and then they bring it to a business mindset.
What are some of the, without getting too deep, I think people need to understand that just because you're family, you still have conflict. What are some of the conflicts when you're dealing with trying to take a business from here to here to here? Because you got to sell her on your vision and blah blah blah, and then there's going to be sometimes where you be like, I don't want to do this. Explain that a little bit.
And there has been.
Give me an example.
And we argue about it. Sometimes we do a lot of fashion shows, and sometimes I don't want to do particular fashion shows just because, again, business. So she'll be like, no, let's go ahead and do it. Let's get out there. And I'm like, no.
Why wouldn't you want to do it? Because to me, in the day of the digital blueprint, you want as much exposure, especially with the taking on what you're doing. So I'm just asking because I'm like this. I could be a business owner all day long. I still want to know the who, what, where, when, and why.
Right. So, and you're absolutely right. You would think, get your name out there, so you're going to do pretty much whatever comes your way. But we did that and realized that everything wasn't for us. So we're going to stay in our lane. We're going to concentrate on our niche, and we're going to be intentional about who we align ourselves with.
What's your niche? And how did you determine your niche? I think that's important for people because even as a podcast producer and radio owner and so forth, I can't take on everybody. And I don't mean that to be arrogant in any way, but if you don't know where you're at and you don't have your sense of direction, I can't let you tear mine down.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Exactly.
So what do you take on that?
That's kind of what we did, and that's where we got into a lot of yes and no. She's like, let's take on the world, and I'm like, no, let's pull back a little bit. So our niche is professional women who like to be fashionable and different, and like to let loose a little bit on the weekend, as well as those women who have not yet figured out who they are fashion-wise, because we do styling also.
Now, are you guys speaking from experience? So let me go here for where I'm going with this. Usually, if you're going to be an entrepreneur, you either learn about it or you bring in your experience or things that you've gone through. So you deal with corporate women. So I take it both of you guys have been in the corporate field. And usually when we're dealing with corporate fields, we're dealing with the matrix standard. You come in a pants and a dress, and this would be considered unprofessional.
Yes.
So am I understanding? Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yes, definitely. So you're absolutely correct. I was in a field where I worked with large corporations and up-and-coming businesses, and I was in a suit every day.
Yeah, didn't like that.
Didn't like that. Couple of years later, shifted and started doing what we're doing now. Big difference. My kids were like, Mommy, where are you going? Where's your suit? That's what they were used to. But this allows us freedom, and it also gives us a chance to show women how they can dress in the corporate arena and still have their own style.
How is your fashion? Either one of you can guys can answer. How has your fashion been accepted with the women who have taken the next step into using you guys' fashion to go into corporate America?
Okay, so I'll answer it.
Wait a minute. She didn't want. She didn't want to answer nothing earlier. You remember? You remember what time about?
You forced me.
She's comfortable now. Go right ahead. So what's the answer to that?
So yeah.
Bring that mic closer so I can hear your voice.
Wait a minute.
Okay. Yeah.
What was your question again?
Like, how were the women? Because when you've been accustomed to the system, let's get real. I love the fashion. I love the state. I love this outfit. I love the statement. But let's get real. White corporate America, this shit is not flying. And now you got to convince powerful up and coming women, don't dimmer your shyness to step into a new fashion statement. It doesn't mean you can't do your job, and I don't think your clothes should should do that. So my question to you is, how has the fashion statement been received in corporate America from women?
Andre, I think there's starting to be a shift. I think it kind of comes from COVID, where they had to shift from you being in the office to now people are working at home, and people got a little more relaxed on how they dress. So I think that gave us a little bit of leniency. And so now we're able to help women, one, be confident, still got to do your job, and now that you're changing your dress, you know you got to be on point.
Yeah.
So I think what we do is kind of show them how they can ease into it. So.
Is it hard for them to do that? You know, let me put it like this. Do they come to you guys and say, you know what, I love that, but, you know, at my job, I'm not sure how they're going to accept it. How do you get them to change that mindset into a beast mindset and say, you know what, girl, you need to go on in there and handle that?
I think, first of all, we have them come into our fitting room. Once they get in our fitting room,
it's a closed deal.
Yes, they try on the clothes, see how good they look, and we accessorize them, style it differently, not the usual way that it would be styled in corporate America, but acceptable. And once they see that, they just love it.
Now I'm going to go here with this fashion, because this is a fashion icon week that's coming up. Like I said, a Sherry Gilhart production. And Sherry deals with multi-color individuals, multi-size individuals. How has other nationalities accepted your fashion?
To be honest, of course, started in our community, but we've been branching out, and we've gotten good reviews from a lot of non-minority or majority women that just love the fashion.
I love the way you guys are open-minded. Like, when a different culture comes to you guys and like your fashion, how much work is put into amplifying their nationality in the clothing, in your clothing brand, without diminishing your styles? Because at the end of the day, this is you guys' project.
Yes. And so what we like to do...
I love her. I got her going now. Man, Sherry, are you watching this? Are you watching this? I got you going now. We ain't going. This is an hour-long episode. Go ahead.
When women come into our shop, like Tina was saying, we make them feel good. We make them feel comfortable, and it's like they're talking to their best friend.
Okay.
So we don't sell you clothes just for the sake of selling you clothes. We sell clothes that speak to the woman.
Man, you guys' outfits are like, I'm thinking I'm rocking with some bell-bottom pants and some shoes on, man. You guys is like, what about the men? What you got for men? What? I need a new look. I need a new attitude. Like, what you got? You guys got anything for men?
We do. We have something just for you.
Really?
Yes.
How do you know? Okay, check this out. Man, we got an hour-long special. I don't want you guys to go on, because we got Michelle talking. It's a different ball game. She came in, she was like, Trey, I'm scared. You comfortable now, aren't you?
I'm comfortable.
See, the beast ain't that bad, Alma.
He is not.
So let me ask this. How do you determine a man's style? Like, if I'm doing a podcast, I definitely want my own brand, my own little style and blah, blah, blah. How do you do that for a professional man?
Okay, so first of all...
Look, she happy now.
No, first we have you look around our boutique. Okay. Just find pieces that catch your eyes, things that stand out to you, and then we build on that.
Okay.
So,
I'm listening.
And then also as with our women,
Right.
we do a what speaks to us when you pull things out.
Right.
So we let you browse around, see what catches your eye, and then we see what speaks to us based on what you select. And then from there, we'll talk to you a little bit, ask you like, what do you do? How do you want to feel? What makes you happy? Are you a person that likes to be,
Conservative.
tied?
Yeah.
Yeah. Or
Yeah.
if you want to be comfortable in the clothing.
How long you guys been around?
We are brick and mortar 2 years, going almost 3, but yeah.
Okay.
So.
Okay. I'm glad.
We're still new.
I'm glad Sherry hooked this up. I'm be blowing your phone up like crazy.
We are here for it. We get it all the time.
Really?
We get it all the time. Our customers call us. Hey, I'm going here. What can you do for me? I got this skirt, but I need to jazz it up a little bit. Can you help me out? We're like, sure, bring it in.
So you can take pre-existing things that people have and take it to another level as well.
Exactly.
Okay, so my next question is, what about custom pieces? This is definitely custom pieces. Is this handmade? How does this evolve?
it was handmade by somebody, but it was not handmade by us. We do custom.
So you consult with other fashion people as well.
Yes.
Yeah.
I not saying I don't like this. This is, if that was a guy outfit, I would be rocking that on this show today.
We can get that for you.
That
We
is
can do
like,
that.
it's fashion. Let me ask you guys this question. What is fashion? What is that? What does that mean to you? What is fashion?
Fashion is what you make it. It's a part of your personality. It's a part of the music that you listen to. It's a part of just everything that goes into you. And I think it's based on your individual likes and individual
Allure.
yeah, exactly.
I had to use that word, allure.
Allure.
I don't know what it means, but it sounds good. Allure.
It sounds good.
Yeah. What does fashion mean to you?
Pretty much what Tina said. Like for me, I like to be a little eclectic. So I'll take an outfit that's plain and I'll add something to it. Everybody might not like it, but I love it. And it's about empowering yourself, not being afraid to do what works for you.
She practiced yesterday. You know, when Sherry called me last night, she said, she's scared. She practiced.
I did not even want to come on here. You forced me to be on here.
Yeah, I got it. You got a business. I'm going to have you sit down in that chair. Forget that. So let's go here. You mentioned being afraid. What moments were you afraid of with starting this company? Let's start with you first.
Pretty much, will it work? Are we going to get the clientele? Because now we have the overhead of a brick and mortar and everything that comes with it. Can we sustain it?
Mm-hmm.
So those were questions that we asked ourselves, and we were like, let's give it a couple of months, see what happens. We already have the merchandise. It's not doing anything for us by sitting in a storage facility and no one can see it. So we jumped out there on faith. And that's all I can say. We jumped out there on faith.
What's your take? What was the fear factor for you?
I
Turn that microphone up. I got to hear your voice. I like the way she goes, and I.
For me, it was can we sustain it financially? Because we didn't have any grants, any loans. It was all out of pocket for us. So that was one of the big fears that I had.
Let's talk about your family and family support. I tell people it usually takes 5 years to stay in business. The first year is what I call I'm still thinking, trying to put pieces together. The second year is you kind of got an ideal of where you're going with it. The third year, you're like, okay, I figured out this, and then the fourth season is where you're really tying all the knots. And by year 5, you have everything together. And you start making profit. You guys are on year 2, correct?
Yes.
What is the fear factor going into to number 3? Because you already sustained it for 2. So what's the fear factor going into 3?
I think we are on the cusp of, can we turn a profit to sustain what we're doing? And we love it so much, we got to make it work.
I like the way she said that. What's your take on that? I can't hear you. Look, go back. I can't hear you.
Exactly what she said. I agree.
Let me go here with you guys. Model Icon Inc. First time in Indianapolis, major fashion show. Indianapolis, Chicago. I mean, Sherry Gilhart is like, how can I explain Sherry? From the moment I met her, I can't say no.
Right.
You know what I mean? How did you come in contact with Sherry, and what do you bring to the table for Sherry?
Let Tina ask.
I'm gonna have both of you do it. Don't go there. This is the Andre the Beast Crazy Show.
we see. So we met her via a fashion show that we were in, and again, we had our pieces run down the runway. We connected with her, and she loved what we had. She loved what we had. We talked with her a bit, and she wanted to see what we could do because we like collabing with other people. So she reached out to Tina and was like, "Hey, I got this going on. What do you guys think?"
Mm-hmm.
And we were immediately like, "Yeah, let's jump on it."
What was your take when Sherry approached you guys?
She is very professional, very business oriented, and again, we were at the Rip the Runway fashion show. Keith Lee,
Yeah.
and she was the MC. And so she when our line was done, she asked us a few questions on the stage, and she was like, "Okay, we'll have to connect later." And she did just that. She reached out to us and connected with us, and now we're going to be styling and showcasing at Model Icon in Indianapolis and in Chicago.
Wow. I hope I get an invite.
Well, I did hear that you are up for an award. Will you be there in Indianapolis?
If somebody's giving me an award, I'm definitely gonna go and see what that's about. That's a new one on me.
Then your invitation's in the mail.
Yeah. So before we wrap up, I'm gonna go here. And first, let me say thanks for coming. I know you was nervous, but I told Sherry last night, I said, I'll get her in that seat. I'm going to get her and she's going to talk. You're young, beautiful, gifted women of color. What do you tell the other women of color, or just other women in general, because I don't want to rationalize it down, just women in general? How do you get them to get inspired to make the leap that you guys have done to get to where you're at today? And you're only in year 2, and I don't see nothing but success for you guys moving forward. But what do you tell these women today?
Thank you. What we say is move forward. If you have a passion for it, align yourself with people that are like-minded. Know what your strengths and weaknesses are, and align yourself with people that help you where you're lacking.
Mm-hmm.
But also, that's a good question. I just want to bring this up real quick. In our brick and mortar, we have something called our back room, and we normally use it for like our vintage items. But we discussed it, and we decided that we want to provide an opportunity for other designers to showcase their items.
I like that.
So we're going to clear out that room, and we're going to open it up to people that were like us, out of a storage or out of their closet, selling it out of the trunk, just, grassroots. And we're going to invite them to come into our shop and sell some of the merchandise there, and allow their customers to be able to come in to actually try stuff on.
What's your take?
What was the question? She just had me
I told you, man,
she was saying.
because she's so loose now. You know what I mean? Once you sit in that chair
this chair is full of leather, but once you sit in it, everything just starts to flow.
It's the chair.
It's the chair. I was asking the question. You guys are two beautiful women of color. What do you recommend for women of all races to get to where you at, young and old?
I would say to first of all, I would say trust in the gifts that God has given you. That's the first thing that I would say. I would also tell them to trust themselves. You know what your skills and your talents are. So just trust in yourself. Keep going. Keep moving forward. And don't give up. What is the saying? If you fail one time, it's a lesson. If you fail a couple times, I don't know.
Regardless, if you fail, get back up and keep trying.
Exactly.
Now, is that an Amber Alert going on?
That
That's
sounds
what
like
it sounds like.
Okay,
either amber or tornado.
this is a. Let me do it. This is a national. So those that heard that noise in the background, there is some type of weather alert going on outside, but we're safe inside the IMB studio. My other question here is, we talked about family support and stuff. How does your family, your husbands or your children feel about what you guys are doing now?
It's funny that you say that because I have sons and they're older and they're looking at me like, okay, you're changing from the corporate to doing your own thing. At first, they're like, okay, this is a hobby. You're looking good.
Well,
they're
they
out of
kill you when
town.
they say
It
hobby.
does. It does.
Like, who coined that word?
I don't know, but it should
when
be banned.
When we're a certain age that we shift, they go, is that a hobby?
Exactly.
Yeah, yeah.
Exactly. But they're out of town. They both came in, and I was like, come on to the shop. See what we got going on. They're like, yeah, I'll get to it. And then they came in. They're like, oh, you guys are legit. You're doing something. And we're like, did you think we were playing?
Yeah.
We said we had a business and we were going somewhere.
What about you? What does your family think about what's going on?
Okay, so my sons, I have two sons. When my older son was alive, he was all into it because I remember this one time. He was at school and the teacher was asking everybody, what do your parents do?
Right.
And he said, my mother sells clothes. And his friend, the kids around him, they were like a booster? He was like, no, she has a website and everything. So he was excited about that.
Yeah. You guys are something else. I'm glad it took a little bit of something to get you guys going. Before we wrap up, how can the viewers know more about you guys' shop, where you're located, and more information if you guys have it on the event that's coming up?
Okay, so we are located at 2700 East 55th Place.
You wanted me to give you the
8.
address? She looked at me like, well, you know something, baby girl. It's all good.
Okay, let me say that again. 2700 East 55th Place, Suite 8 in Indianapolis, Indiana. That's off of 56 and Keystone.
Okay.
And we are online, www.mahoganycharm.com. No S at the end.
Okay.
On Facebook, we're Mahogany Charm Boutique. Instagram, Mahogany Charm. TikTok, Mahogany Charm.
Is there a phone number people can reach out to?
Yes, it's 317-748-7563.
Now, give me some information on what's going on with the model icon. How can the viewers know more about it? How can they reach out to Sherry Gerhardt or you guys? Tell the viewers a little about what that event details.
Okay, so the show in Chicago, that's May 2nd. That one is just going to be a fashion show, I do believe. But the one in Indianapolis, it's a bigger event. It's an award ceremony, a model recognition, and a fashion show.
Where's it going to be located at?
It is going to be located.
You can pull out your notes. I don't want you to mess. Sherry does not want you to mess that up.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I don't want to mess that up, but I don't know the exact location, but I do know that you can buy tickets at
Put that microphone and give them that information. There you go.
Okay, you can buy tickets at Model Icon Magazine.com.
Okay, I'm pretty sure Sherry will love that. Now, my last question to you guys before we wrap up. Let's start right here. What's your purpose?
My purpose?
Yeah.
My purpose is to relate to people. Let me
I like this seat I'm in.
Scaring people.
No. Why? Because I asked a simple question. You ain't been watching the program? That's part of the allure.
Right.
Look, that's part of the allure. What's your
Right.
what's your purpose? What's your beast mindset?
Okay, my purpose is to connect with other individuals, share my stories with them in hopes that it'll help them in some type of way.
I like that. Baby girl.
My purpose is pretty much every day. Once I get up, thank the Lord, I always say, let me be a blessing to someone else today. And if I can do that in fashion and styling, giving them confidence, or just providing some business knowledge to them, I'm here for it.
Wow, ladies, thank you so much for taking time out to be on the show. You guys make sure you like, share, click that button. All it takes is one click of a button to make a difference in somebody's life or change somebody else's. Make sure you reach out for the Model Icon fashion show, right? Fashion
Correct.
show. What day is it again?
May 17th.
May 17th, beautiful Indianapolis, Indiana. Make sure you come out and support these ladies at the name of the business is Mahogany
Charm Boutique.
Charm Boutique in beautiful Indianapolis, Indiana. Ladies and gentlemen, this has been another, you ladies say it with me, exciting episode of the Andre, the Beast, Creighton Show.
Do that again. I like that.
All right,
I
they want
like
to
that.
do it again, so let's do it again, ladies and gentlemen. Say it with me. This has been another exciting episode of the Andre, the Beast, Creighton
Creighton
Show.
Show.